of the Cayman Islands.
Oh, I think they're doing a great job. A lot of them are.
Good afternoon, Dwayne. How are you?
Not too bad, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today with Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. If you're ready to talk, we're willing to listen.
Well, I really enjoy this program today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
May God bless every person.
Hey, welcome, and thank you very much for joining us on another terrific Tuesday's edition as we have the opportunity and the honor to start off our show with the Honorable W. McKeever Bush. So please stay tuned for Talk Today.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today, the Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program. We ask our listeners to avoid statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use any indecent language or make any statement which is false or misleading. Email talktoday@candw.ky or call 1-800-534-8255. Courtesy of Flow,
Cayman's #1 network that connects you to your world like never before.
Let your voice be heard. Once again, here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for this distinct privilege and honor. It truly is to be able to sit, facilitate, and through our guests, get an opportunity to learn and engage with our community. Honored to welcome, and a special welcome to Mr. Bush. Honorable W. McKeever Bush, good afternoon. How are you, sir?
I am out of breath because I rushed to get here. I'm still preparing for the governor's visit, and I'll take this opportunity, those listening who are in West Bay, that the governor will be visiting with us tonight at 7:30. People who want to come, they should come be there by 7:15. That is at the Turtle Farm, so hopefully the weather will be good and people will come out to talk to Her Excellency the Governor. Maybe she wouldn't get to talk to everybody, of course, but she'll meet people, and people might, hopefully there'll be a chance for people to meet with her. That's the purpose, right?
That's the purpose, yes.
We are giving some awards out to some people who have never been mentioned in the community, in tourism in particular, and others who did never ever get any recognition for being involved in different areas of the community. So from district-wise, that's what we'll be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight. So I am glad that you could make some space for me today. The House will soon meet, and I kind of think that we not meeting often enough, because there's lots of business to be done, and the fact is that there are business that cannot be conducted but inside the House. And so I'm hoping that the new year, next 2 years, whatever they have left as a time, that they will see a more organized timing for meeting of the House. But in this coming meeting, I plan to move 2 motions. I got a couple of things that we can talk about, but I want to talk about 2 of them. One is to do with the one is to do with a motion to asking government to bring forth legislation to deal with some findings of the Ombudsman and that the necessary legislation would contain, among other things, penalties for the desecration or wrongful acquisition or otherwise dealing with grave sites. What we're finding is that there is that happening, particularly in the main West Bay Cemetery. And the Ombudsman, where a number of disputes have arisen in relation to certain ancestral plots, the Ombudsman made a determination that there needs to be legislation enacted to regulate government grave sites, to develop a policy in relation to the same and to develop proper record-keeping practices of the same. As I said, it's it is an important matter. It's not one that I want to bang on and hang on to, but it needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
I know with my daughter's grave, my grandmother's grave, and my mother's grave, but we put on fresh flowers just my daughter's birthday. Already they're gone. That was in July. And, you know, these are $100 bouquets at least. Sometimes there's two, let's say $40 ones that we put on my daughter's grave or my mother's grave, depends on what we find. But that is happening, and I don't know how government can legislate that, but make it illegal, of course, but how they can police it would be difficult, because we just got to depend on people's conscience on these sort of things and say, why are you doing this? Please think about what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But where there are arguments, where there are disputes over grave plots, government needs to regulate that. Government needs to go into that and deal with it and make sure that what people do is legal.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that motion is asking for. The next one is to do with, I'm calling for an audit or an investigation with Caribbean Utilities Company. What we can't say in regards to CUC is that we don't have good service from Caribbean Utilities Company. And of course you pay for good service. But there are matters of extremely high electrical bills that bears want of some kind of independent oversight of the operation, which affects the public, me, you, and others. And let me say, we have a minister now who wants the benefit of CUC to be recognized, as well as to see his people not overburdened with high electrical cost that they can't pay. And so the ministry recently appointed a very determined lawyer to be chairman of OFREG, and who has already started to show just how determined he is in dealing with utility companies. Had some evidence recently with cable and wireless. But I hope my motion will be asking for an investigation into such matters as the drastic rise of cost in a month's bill. And I've had this over the years, and people have been just complaining and people have been talking. As I say, these rise in cost has caused damaging situation to a family's monthly expense budget.
Mm.
And I've had, of course, as a representative, many complaints to ask how I'm expected to pay, right, over the years. And I even sought to bring in competition and got good and well flogged for that. And I've 2 times in the past, personally, had to complain about the substantial rise in my own house bill. These 2 times, in the past, Caribbean Utilities admitted that the rise in my bill was due to their own faulty meter reading. So they made an adjustment. Just recently though, my bill in May started to rose from $1,400 to $2,009, and that was due, I think, to all that everybody else was feeling. But in the next bill, it rose to I think, 4,000, double, 100% rise in the cost of my bill, and to 4,231 exactly. As I said, after a substantial rise in the bill before that. But to keep it short here, because I will give full and more details in my debate, but I will say that they never accepted my complaint as being any of their kind of fault, or about faulting me to reading. In fact, they've come back to say, oh no, it was fine. And then they quoted a long list of technicalities that a person that is not technical and does not know these sort of things would not know. So the ordinary man in this country would not know. And so CUC say, this is what it is, and so we are asking you to pay it. So after they did accept that my bill was way beyond high, because 100%, and nothing happening in that time. We was off for a week, some lights running, but nothing else happening, air condition cut down, and the bill, as I said, rose to 100% over. So, but I had a very kind and very professional staff member, and I say that in all seriousness. They were very, very professional, the young lady that guided me through a process, but only to give me a payment plan. Never in my life, from the time we moved into our house in 1996, did I have to be given a payment plan. Never in my life. And I didn't always have good salary, but we made it through, between me and my wife working, kept our bills together. And while I'm not satisfied with the results, now that I got to pay a payment plan to pay off that $2,000 odd, because I just didn't have that kind of money.
4,000, you mean?
Yeah, but no, the 2,000 was the regular, which I must say has started to go down. But I think everybody bill now has started to go back down again. Yeah. But we see this every summer. They can't say that it's not so. Every summer, and yes, it's a little bit harder, but not like this. Not these kind of increases. And so while I am not satisfied, but I'm appreciative of the assistance to be able to have a payment plan, or I wouldn't have any electricity. But I first had to pay the regular bill, 2009. So it is something that is wholly unacceptable, and poor people can't do it, and the government really hasn't, that is what they're doing. I think from some plan that they had, I can't remember, there's so many abbreviations of names and everything else now that you don't know where you're at. But I am not, I don't qualify for that. And I know, tons of people who need help have not qualified for it. And also, right, people in these times are much worse off than they ever been with electricity, house insurance, property insurance, still gas bills at the pump, still high. And don't ask about the bank rates. And we sit as a government, and I say we, I say that broadly because I don't sit there and say and accept it. I don't. But there's nothing being done about it. And we say we can't do anything. It's funny. It's funny doing how the metropolitan countries, UK, are taking things in hand. They say your bills are too high. They go to the supermarket and say your bill is too high. Now I know we have different economic setup, but don't tell me, I don't believe this thing, that you can't do anything. I don't believe in that word. Thank God, my teachers that I had in school say can't is not a good word. It's not a word. Can't is not a word. So don't tell me that. I feel that we as legislators have to put our foot down, and we have to have a government that will do something about it. Now I'm supportive of the present government as much as I can be. There are many good things that are being done, but there are issues there are policy changes that has to take place that is not being considered today. Cost, we right now struggling with a budget, and we could come to that. I see your face light up because
she tell me a break.
A break.
So we can talk about the budget. I'm mindful of Miss Susan because sometimes I'm listening to you and I want to learn here.
Yes.
But she might take the time and switch to me. So let's take the break.
Take the break.
Ah, boy. I can tell you, she's in charge. Not at large, but join us after the break.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. This summer, I going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, and now Panama. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal this summer.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
It's game time, Subway fans. We're upping our sub game with the all-new Subway Series menu, an all-star lineup of 6 delicious recipes. Just order by name or number and we'll do the rest. Whether you're catching a quick lunch or just need a tasty victory, the Subway Series menu is coming in clutch. Subway Series, easy to order, hard to resist. Try it today, only at Subway. Eat fresh.
Stop kicking that old washer or dryer and stressing out. Brand Source Home Gallery is having an August laundry sale. Save up to 15% on all brands. That's right, save up to 15% on GE, Samsung, LG, Beko, Frigidaire, Electrolux, and even heavy-duty commercial washers and dryers, both gas and electric. Shop Brand Source Home Gallery in August and find the island's largest selection of washers and dryers and save during the August laundry sale. Visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive in Industrial Park or call 623-5000.
Introducing Digicel's all-new prepaid plans, packed with more any-use data than ever before. Entertainment data for the apps you love, like Netflix, Spotify, YouTube, and TikTok. Plus, endless social data for Snapchat, WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, so you're always in the know. Stay connected. Stay entertained with Digicel's new prepaid plans. Activate in the My Digicel app today. Digicel, better connected.
Hey, we got to have love now.
Friends of Ja Mitch come out to support a special live music fundraiser at the Hartwell Theatre, Saturday, September 2nd from 7 to 11 p.m. Free admission for all, but donations welcome to support the recovery efforts for one of Cayman's legacy musicians, Ja Mitch. Performances by Swanky, 5th Division, Heat, Sugar Daddy, and the J.R. Douglas Band. Proudly sponsored by the Caymanian Times, Young Blood Productions, CNCF, Love Culture, Reflections, and Radio Cayman. The Friends of Ja Mitch live music fundraiser at the Hartwell Theatre. Free admission, Saturday, September 2nd from 7 to 11 p.m.
RC Fusion.
Monday to Thursday.
10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Fridays. Radio Cayman. Biggest variety in the morning. Biggest variety.
RC Fusion.
Following the 10 a.m. news headline. Biggest variety in the morning.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
And welcome back. Thanks for joining us. And we have as our studio guest a very popular and familiar name and face, Honorable W. McHugh Bush. Again, as the father of the house, man, thanks for coming on board.
Good to be here. And so I was saying that all these things that are happening, it's something that is wholly unacceptable. And so with CUC, And I don't know, I mean, insurance is we keep saying that you know, and it is, I mean, it's a ridiculously high, but we all put a blame on the reinsurers. And that's what we hear, and we can't do nothing about it. But at some point, it has to stop, because what happens then? Then you don't have no insurance because you can't pay it. So I don't know whether they, as a business, don't recognize that you know, they could lose a large part of Cayman people who have to pay, and then the banks force you to pay because you have a mortgage, and so what happens then? What can you do? But even at that, no matter what, you know, the banks can only pressure you so much, because they can pressure you and then take away your house, which is the end result, right? But something has to be done to stop this madness. And I am saying that I do not believe in this word that we can't do something about it. I don't ever believe that. And so it is something that is totally and wholly unacceptable. And so the only mediator acceptable to me, and what I'm going to ask for is I believe what many of the people who has been talking about these extremely high costs, and that is what is needed is an independent professional person or group to examine fully the matter in which this comes about and how it is treated, this high cost and this meter reading. And I'm not talking about anybody, because I will not accept anybody from here. Totally unconnected, could come from the moon, but totally unconnected to Cayman. And that person or a group or two people, whatever, will come and examine, investigate fully the matter in which the meter reading and the cost and all these things that they're telling you that is wrong with you. But you don't know, because you know you can know if you leave your door open and you got air conditioning. Well, the air conditioning goes out, hot air comes in, makes it worse for us. You know, the windows can leak air, doors seam. We know those sort of things, but that can't be the cost of what is happening to some people in this country with CUC. Can't. And so we, as a government, have to protect our people. The one thing a government has to do is to protect our people and try to provide and assist them. That's what I'm elected to do. That's what we are elected for. So I'm moving a motion to deal with it and asking government to do so. Engage a competent, tried and experienced person or persons in such matters, a group, a person outside and wholly unconnected to these islands, to do such an investigation. So I am moving that motion. As I said, I will have more to say when I move the motion, God willing.
And you have a seconder for the motions?
Yeah, it'll be one of my backbench colleagues, but this one I think is Mr. Saunders. Okay. Because I have talked to him about this.
Now, as you mentioned, CUC, we gather that their license is up in 5 years. And if we are correct in our understanding, presumably sometime very soon, before the end of the year, the government needs to give notice to CUC whether they're renewing in whichever. How much of that information relative to their license that you want to speak to in terms of?
Well, I don't know details or technicalities. I know that that time is running up, and there will have to be a renegotiation, and whatever happens, I hope a better position can be done for all around. Not to make the company lose. We don't want that. They got a lot of Caymanians hired, and CUC gives scholarships. But all of that, you can't kill people. People have to be able to live, and you can say, well, stop the air conditioning. Yeah, that's easy to say. Enough people dying with stress already, which much less take on the stress of heat. And may I tell you, for those of us who grew up in the late or early 60s, who didn't have electricity, and those that even had electricity might not have, who had a light, because that's what you had, and a plug-in for a fridge for those that had it. But some of us never had that. I didn't. And September, well, from June, July, August, September, October, and November could be hot. November could be hot too. But up until October, even though we had rain, it would be hot. And we used to use a cardboard fan, we call it, made out of cardboard. And that's, you find yourself, you wake up and you're sweating the place down. And for those of us that had to sleep on floor beds, as I did, made it tremendously worse for us. So it's easy for people to talk about, oh, cut back your expenses, cut back your air conditioning. Well, there are people just can't live without it anymore. We've got to that stage in life. And so what a government is supposed to do is to step in. Government is supposed to step in. In many instances, in the banks taking people's house, don't tell me that we can't do something about it. Don't. And I thought the Premier, I support the Premier in many things. His views about sustainability, we've been talking about some of this for years, and we haven't done anything. And we might say, boy, you know, I need to step. I had to say that in the Turks and Caicos Islands. I told them in the speech on sustainability, look, you know, we at Cayman have done things, and we've done things because we needed to do things. And we tried to balance development with the environment, for instance. Not that our environment is destroyed. They can say that the only place it's destroyed is those hypocrites that talk about conservation and saving the mangroves, but too gladly go and live in the subdivisions that are made out of the swamp. There are a bunch of hypocrites. Don't talk to me about it. I like a balance. I want a balance in everything that I have tried to do when it comes to the environment. And to be sustainable is to have a balance between the two. And maybe we haven't got to that. I mean, we see some of the mistakes that are made, particularly in the beach area where those people went out there and built. I mean, Marriott got a particular situation, how long that has been built, and then they went, and the only thing to do with that is to cut off the front of it for them to buy on the next side of the road and build it back and bring it back from the sea. That's why I support heights, because particularly in that kind of area, you go up high, you bring it back. You don't go closer to the sea. And so, yes. And I say that, I told them that in Turks. We have to take notice that, yes, there is some changes being made in our environment and atmospheric conditions. Weather conditions. Yes, there are changes that we are seeing now that we didn't see before. So we need to take note and we need to act accordingly. So I support the Premier in certain areas. I don't support him with this thing about getting 30 days notice from the bank. That don't have nobody. 30 days to pay. You got to find it first. You got to have it first to be able to pay. So I don't support this idea that we can't do anything. I don't think so.
When you reference building heights, if you wish, just your personal perspective, what do you think should be the highest? 50 stories, 20, 100?
Maybe 25. You know, we go there, and we, you know, people that argue with me about it, and they said, where you want to go? I say, you see that cloud just below that? No, never that.
Yeah.
But I believe that we must go use heights for better protection of our environment. We are a small island, and I say we depend on development, and we have always depended on it. We have to balance it. We have to balance it now, and we just can't go willy-nilly and do things. Some people want that because some Caymanians are predominantly independent-minded people. We want to do things our way. You know, we don't want to worry about what Tom Brown in America is saying, or what John Ebanks is saying down in West Bay, or what, you know, the Prime Minister or the Foreign and Commonwealth Office might say. We want to do our thing. We bought our land. We done our thing. We saved, and now leave me alone to do it. But we have to take and be cognizant that what we do can affect us in the long run. So we need to be more than careful. But yes, one of the things that government has to do, laws and regulations to ensure that we are changing our lives and our needs to work with the changing environment. That's basically what I'm trying to say, because where we need lands, agricultural lands. We're building on it. We need parks. We need wetlands. And so, as a small island, we just can't continue being a small island which spreads out, and the sprawl eats up our limited land mass. You know, the issue, those issues have to be thought about. So I'm saying to move from 10 floors to 15 or 25, but 25 to give the development a good chance of making back their money properly, and that caused an uproar. But as I say, I see it as a necessity where we need agricultural lands, and I repeat that we need parks, we need wetlands, and so at a small island, we just can't sprawl all over the place. So going up is hurting who? Hurting nobody.
And would you, in addition to say like hotels, condos, and commercial buildings, would you look at increasing the height for a residential?
Oh yes. Yes, if we can get Caymanians to buy into it, because predominantly we all wanted our own yard, at least 100 by 100, and some people wanted 2 and 3 acres around them, right? But we all strive to get that, and our grandparents that left any land that was not stolen from them were able to leave a sizable lot. Carrie's grandfather left 175 by 125 lot. So we have a sizable house lot. But we can't, not everybody can be able to get that. And it's particularly so that people who had land saved it for their purpose, and now it's those Caymanians that have land is keeping it. And it's very expensive to get any, because from the 50s and the 40s, the land was sold. It wasn't sold from 1984 on. It was resold. Yeah. Go check and to see how much were fresh pieces. A few. Few. Most of it was sold over the years and resold and resold. And so I think that we have to be mindful that we want a house, that we're not going to get 100 by 100. You might get a smaller house lot, or you might have to go up. You might have to be an apartment type home, right? Where on the ground you have a park. You have parking, you have a playground for your children, and other things of necessity in that compound. I'm not an architect, I'm construction person, but I do and have seen where these things do work. When we look at Singapore, you got to manage and you got to have the discipline. That's the trouble.
That familiar voice you're hearing is Honorable W. McKeever Bush. We do have a caller, as you were sharing. You always willing to engage with our listeners.
I do.
All right, let's go to the phones. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hey, how are you today?
No, not too bad. And good afternoon, Mr. Bush.
Good afternoon.
I'm just listening to the radio now. I don't know if I'm going to be able to ask the appropriate question right now, but I'll try. I was just wondering how do you feel about the development into the district of West Bay, and what benefit it is going to be there for the people of West Bay? There's a lot of construction going on down there, and in Era Corner, so I was just wondering how our West Bayers would be able to accomplish or to gain something that's being built now.
Well, I will tell you this, that where people have sold their land and sold it to other people who want to develop it, is a matter that we have to take notice of, or we go to court to try to stop anything. But I certainly believe that we, as our own landowners and people who have interest, and as a representative, I took great interest in development that comes around, and try to change the way we live. That kind of action I don't support. But I am in a position where I say we have to be careful when we go to try to stop people who own land from doing the purpose they bought the land for. Now, where, for instance, I just see where the there are a number of apartments. I don't know quite the site, but I know the area off of Villa Farrington Drive where they said, what I saw was an article that said 119 rooms. How many apartments? I don't know. But that's a lot. And if it's on the swamp side, I know on that particular Villa Farrington Drive, in heavy rains, there is serious water to contend with. So much so that in Hurricane Iwan, it flooded that whole area, right? And so if you go and build up, and that's what has been happening, people have been building up. And when I say building up their land, reclaiming land, and building up and putting buildings on it. And what happens is that water that used to settle in there, to put it simply goes somewhere else. Water will find its own level, right? And so it'll flood out people. So we have to be careful of what development, how much it is that comes in, but about stopping it. I am a person that says we have to be careful about that. We have to be careful with people who come here and then don't care about what they do. I'll give you an example. I bought a road in the back of my land in 1996. Bought it 15 foot. Well, some apartments were coming just recently. I said, okay, they're building apartments, and I didn't make any hullabaloo about it until when I said, maybe I'll develop my piece or I'll sell it, the back of me, onto my, and it's counted as my whole house lot, let's call it. And the man who owned that property, building the apartment, had bought, he said that I didn't own that road. And I said, well, we bought it. And I knew that the person, the Caymanian, that the foreign man bought the land from, the Caymanian told him, listen, Mr. Bush has this right away. He's bought this before the man bought it. But once the man bought it, then he started to push back on me. And I said, well, I have it, so let me go and check. Unfortunately, I left it up to the people to transfer the road and put it on the Lands and Survey registry. He didn't do so. So yes, I was at fault. But the man that bought it very well, no, I paid for it. The owner told him I paid for it. But yet he said, no, and he put up a gate on the road that existed since 1996. So besides buying it but not having it registered, I have rights because I've been there since 1996 using that road. He blocked off another lady right adjoining me who had a side gate, blocked her up. And he's building 15 apartment. I had another right away, the 6 foot right away. I used to call them the cart roads or the donkey roads, but it's 6 foot right away. And that was there for years and years and years, and cadastral survey recognized it. He foolishly thought he was so smart. He could come and tell me, you're not using this road, but I made that, I slipped your 6 foot. You have that, that's yours. And I slipped it. You slipped it? Slipped it where? Oh, I put a nice gate for you and fenced it up. I said, you have no right to do that. Under the law, that is my right away. And when I check it legally, you can't do that. And he wrote that he had already did it and he already had built over it. But planning went and stopped him. You can't do that. That right away is indefeasible. Yeah. That is a public right away that you can't do nothing about. Yeah. And see Mike Adams down there, what happened to him? The court finally recognized it. Thank God we finished paving his road, and he went through hell. Yeah. The man even took him to court because they had some alteration or altercation or whatever it was. No, alteration. maybe that's
Mr. Bush.
Altercation.
Yeah. And to our wonderful caller, we do have the news. Respectfully, let us just take this, and thanks to Ms. Susan for pushing the break as we did. Join us right after.
It's game time, Subway fans. We're upping our sub game with the all-new Subway Series menu, an all-star lineup of 6 delicious recipes. Just order by name or number and we'll do the rest. Whether you're catching a quick lunch or just need a tasty victory, the Subway Series menu is coming in clutch. Subway Series, easy to order, hard to resist. Try it today, only at Subway. Eat fresh.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. This summer, I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, and now Panama. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal this summer.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
The headline news is brought to you by Health Services Authority and the Ministry of Tourism and Transport.
With your latest headlines, I'm Felicia Rankin-Zollins. The Transportation Security Administration has announced that Cayman Airways Limited has been approved as a TSA PreCheck participating airline. In international news, Florida's governor has warned residents in the path of Hurricane Idalia to heed evacuation warnings without delay as it approaches the U.S. state. Ron DeSantis said Idalia would hit the state's Gulf Coast as a Category 3 storm on Wednesday morning. Much of Florida, including the densely populated Tampa area, is forecasted to be affected by severe weather. Idalia is projected to hit an area that Mr. DeSantis said has not seen such a major hurricane since the 1800s. High winds up to 12 inches of rain and potentially deadly storm surges as high as 15 feet are forecast in some areas. In a world first, scientists say a 3-inch worm has been found alive in the brain of an Australian woman. The string-like structure was pulled from the patient's damaged frontal lobe during surgery in Canberra last year. The 64-year-old woman had for months suffered symptoms like stomach pain, a cough, and night sweats, which evolved into forgetfulness and depression. The red parasite could have been alive in her brain for up to 2 months, doctors said. Her case is believed to be the first instance of a larva invasion and development in the human brain, researchers said in the Emerging Infectious Diseases Journal, which reported the case. These are your headlines. I'm Felicia Rankin-Zollins.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
The headline news is brought to you by Health Services Authority and the Ministry of Tourism and Transport.
I am Heather Bodden, MP for Savannah and a lifelong advocate for the environment. Illegal dumping is a crime, so please take civic pride in our home and put litter where it belongs. If you see someone littering, report it to the Department of Environmental Health on 949-6696.
Be a part of the solution, not the pollution. Littering is a crime punishable by a $500 fine or 6 months in prison. Brought to you by the Beautification Task Force and Ministry of Tourism and Ports.
The Health Services Authority has over 120 world-class physicians offering the most comprehensive range of specialist services on island. Our dedicated team of professionals provide the highest quality care in orthopedics, interventional radiology, women's health, geriatrics, and a host of other specialist areas. We are a JCI accredited organization with a proven record of excellence. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you. For more information, visit hsa.ky.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Born September 25th, 1947 at Watering Place, Cayman Brac, Royce Adolphus Dilbert was the firstborn son of Hallen and Grace Dilbert, née Tibbets. Like many of the men of his time, he spent many years at sea. During his breaks from sea life, Mr. Dilbert employed his diverse skill sets. He worked at Alfred Scott's block factory as a mechanic with Eston Scott, and his uncle Bergman Dilbert performed dynamite blasting in Cayman Brac with the late Reverend Lee King, as well as worked at MRCU in Grand Cayman. He was also an entrepreneur selling fruits, cars, and tires, and painted and repaired vehicles. His mechanical skills proved immeasurable when in 1979, working in the Campeche Bank oil field, Mexico, his ship was chartered by Halliburton to supply material to cap the exploratory well which blew out in Mexico's Bay of Campeche. In 1981, he retired from sea and took employment with the Cayman Brac Power and Light Company as chief engineer, where he remained until his retirement in December of 2018.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your Sister Islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your Sister Islands.
Discover all that our Sister Islands have to offer.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us in the studio until 1:30. I think, Mr. Bush, we could do 2 days straight, and you still wouldn't have enough time.
I wouldn't have enough time.
So,
one of the matters that someone asked me to speak on, not one, a number of persons, number of pensioners, civil service pensioners. There has been talk about the recent increase to NAU recipients and seamen's and veterans, the 1,250. Well, I knew government was working on that. The present government was working on that for, from time they came, and I know in talking with them in the formation of government, that was one of the things. People know where I stand. They know that I started that seriously because in 1984, it was only $25 a month. A few people were getting that, and as I said, keep saying it was who depending on who you supported, and even to then you might not have got, but we fought for it and moved it up from then. From 1985, we started to do something about it, and then when we moved for the exclusive to make sure the seamen got that they were not just put in as poor people, but people who had contributed to the development of this country by being seamen and sending their money. So we started that properly, myself and John Jefferson, who moved the motion. And so various governments, although I took hell for starting it, various governments continue to increase, and of course we have a good Seafarers Association. From the time that was started, that was the right thing for them to do. So that was included. But what's happening now, to the grant for theirs to our seniors, that was, as I said, overdue and long talked about to bring it up to at least $1,200. We used to say, but now we went to $1,250 because the cost of living is just going to whack. But that's a long way from 1984 when we was only $25 and only a few people getting it. But I've had complaints now from pensioners about the $1,250 to seniors and that complaint from government pensioners. They say, look, we put in 30 years,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, as a teacher, and I'm only getting $9.50. And so these people come in. Yes, they need, and we don't say take it back, but you can't expect us as pensioners to sit back and receive $9.50 while others who just because of certain condition getting, $300 more than us. So, and I think that's a very, very valid argument and something that I support. And of course, those who are making $300 because they only work 4 or 5 years, or $300 or $400, they should, I think, go to at least $600 or $700 too. And these are costs upon the country, but these are costs the country must have to deal with. I know the government is looking at the situation now, the elected government and the civil service portfolio that is responsible for it. I know they are. And my position is those who are now getting senior civil servants, ex-civil servants, pensioners, our seniors now, who are getting $9.50, they should go to the $12.50. And I support that and will push for that in the budget process. And those that are making, as I said, $300 to $400, they should get the other $300 as well, and move up. That is a situation that, as I said, I know it probably be $3 million a year, but well, I think over 2 at least. But I think that's a cost that we have to bear. And if you're making a budget, and I know how difficult it is, because I tell you, because weeks now we've been there, and I haven't been in the budget process for many years through being speaker, and being in opposition. You don't get a chance to put the budget together. You only have a chance to debate and make your points down and your needs known at finance committee. I am going to the PAC caucus, and those people are working hard to get a budget. No two ways about it. But I mean, they have their things that they campaign on. They're responsible to their people. They want to get the things done for their people. But the finance situation is beginning to hold them back, and Cayman has to be careful with this. Someone asked me to say publicly if I support the Premier in his memo that was otherwise leaked or put out, however it was, but it was made public. And I said, yes, I do, because he's right that we have to be careful. But that's not just elected people, both sides, because we can't look at, and I don't want to run down, not run down, but a good example is Bermuda, where they're at with their cost. You can't hire and continue the way hiring that is expected now. 15 for this office, 10 for this office, 15 for another office, 18 for another office, and regulation is causing the Ministry of Investment and AG's office to have to increase huge because of the regulation. Not that I agree with it, but it's what Cayman has chosen to do. Governments have chosen to do. I don't agree with this bureaucracy, and it's costing the country too much. And years ago, government had to put in a moratorium on hiring, and I think that we have to go back to that. I am not going to support the kind of increase in staff that I'm hearing. Not $90 million. Sorry. We need to consider how to use technology better and be more efficient. Basically, we have to stop doing what we need to do and make and get it out cheaper. Because while they might pay you $400, $500, $1,000, maybe that's small, but you're not going to pay that every month. You're not going to pay that big, huge pension liability every month. And so we need to stop doing what we don't need to do. and government has to cut back the bureaucracy, because I mean, what I'm seeing, right? Government has left everything out, or maybe a better phrase is to say the government has agreed and been pleasing and docile and has regulated and regulated and regulated to our own detriment their ability to serve their people. They put in purchasing procedures that take you 3 years, 2 years. They now go into to say, I'm going to evaluate a road and that can take $3 million? Huh? No. The country went way too far in putting in place systems that are far too bureaucratic for these islands. The UK now is doing things, as I mentioned before, that things that are wrecking themselves. The European Union is too far down the road. Some of them realizing that the OECD is not the panacea they try to please, and we here pleasing them now. And civil servants here are blamed, and some can be blamed for how they choose to operate. But the fact is, the bureaucracy has caught them all, elected members and civil servants, and they are all dead afraid to move because they don't want to be caught up in the Auditor General bad report. So afraid of doing what seems wrong that the right things are skipped. And we're not getting things done. You see things, money voted. Millions voted, but you can't go nowhere because of the bureaucracy. And so what are they afraid of? I was never afraid. I mean, they done me bad. So bad that Swarbrick, let me tell you what Swarbrick did. Swarbrick, when we were supposed to borrow $185 million for 3.5% in the United States from a bond company. No, he come out and say you can step out of your door and borrow, and him and that what list governor we had you called Taylor, the one that wanted the bubbly. The two of them terrorized my soul, that I finally said, if you all think that I'm doing so wrong, and let's go there and do it right here for nearly 6%. You know what it costs the Cayman Islands? That $185 million, $60 million more than it should have cost if we had gotten at 3.5% over the life of the loan. Mm-hmm. That's why I came out then and said, listen, I'm going to agree to the FFR, but I had a clause in that FFR that said, if the United Kingdom employees here, because the auditor is supposed to be asked, but they're guided by the governor. Don't worry about that. They can come and say anything after this. They have their narrative, I have mine. They are guided. And the governors that care to do so have used them in the past. This one, I can't say that about her, because she has made some very, very valid points. But civil servants need not be afraid, right? The AG job is to say value for money, right? Not for them to get into policy. They must come afterwards and say value for money, but not before. And so where we at for all those things, the civil service is dead afraid. Mm-hmm. As some politicians now, young ones, I was never scared. Maybe I was a fool because they're still after me, and they can't get me, they can't beat me at the polls. So they got to find a way to get somebody to accuse me of something and then take me to court and kill me that way financially, or worse, put me in jail. Or better for them, because that's what ultimately they would want. I'm not scared of those things, because the right is the right. And when you didn't do something, it might go bad for you, but at the end, you can find out God didn't work that way. And whom God protects, no man can curse. And if you didn't do wrong, you didn't do wrong. And what is happening now, the bureaucracy in the financial industry, because of OECD and all these other things that we have to follow, you want to get all these staff and then the civil service is looking to how many staff and how much money for the budget, and put it in there, but we might not even hire those staff, you know. But you have to put it in the budget. And so we have never had to borrow for operational expenses. Never. And you want to go, I'm not going to support that in this budget. I'm not going to support that, because we have to do what we can do with what we got, and understand that $1 billion is a hell of a lot of money to have to get. And we have to do the most important things: health, education. We need to feed ourselves, so we got to help agriculture. And even the tourism, not even, because tourism and the investment portfolios are the ones, ministries, that brings in the revenue. Investments meaning, and financial services, what I mean. Yeah, but that got to be coupled with a proper and a realizable and agreeable development in the country. You can't have one department shoving everything down and telling you got to do an EAI, whatever it is, for a road. Right? When that's not the most important thing, it should be the other aspects of it. But it costs $3, $4, $5 million? I don't think so. Where is the money going to come from? And so my position in this budget is prioritize, but I am not borrowing for operational expenses. We can borrow for capital expense because we've always done that, and that's an investment. You know, that's, you get something back from that. Yes, operational expenses. We need to have a serious sit-down talk about that, and we're doing that. Thank God for the last from last week we've had some good meetings, long meetings, because we didn't finish last night till after 12. And so Ms. Julie has worked hard, and she was acting to get us to a position where the budget is beginning to shape. But I am saying this because whether they will like it or not, I have a responsibility to my constituents to say what I'm seeing and what I will do and what I can't do. And that's what I'm doing right here. As I said, the bureaucracy and some of those people who come in here and preach it know that it's bad for us, laughing at us, even getting status and laughing at us. They shouldn't be here, as far as I'm concerned. But for all this, my people suffer. No, I'm not going to sit down and let it be so. In this era where people want things done, government has to be smart, government has to be agile, and government has to be responsive to the needs of the people.
Mr. Bush, I know you going to leave at 1:30, but I think we can take a call.
Yes.
All right. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, am I on?
Yes. Thank you for holding on to it, and thanks for calling.
No problem at all. It was worth holding on because I needed to speak to Mr. Bush. Just two comments. I don't want to take Mr. Bush too far off what you are discussing now, which is important, of course. But just two little comments I want to leave with you, which perhaps you might think about as you continue to try and improve things in government and in Parliament. The first one is one you touched on at the beginning when you say something about Parliament sittings. I think that for a Parliament like Cayman, probably it is time now to start thinking of a program of the sittings of Parliament being agreed, like at the end of the parliamentary year, to agree on the days when Parliament will sit for the following year. As you know very well, in other parliaments, Australia, New Zealand, the UK, they have a schedule like that. You can go to the website and see the days in which Parliament is going to sit. And I find that is useful not just for the convenience of members of Parliament, but also in government. When I used to be in government, we used to have a program of the legislation that would be done like in the first quarter, second quarter, and so on. That always proved very difficult to comply with if you didn't know when Parliament was sitting. Then second and last point, I have never known in Cayman of a system which is structured whereby you can follow up on government assurances. As you know, in other Commonwealth parliaments, they've got a committee, usually called the Committee on Government Assurances, where once assurances are made in government that, we'll implement this motion by this date and so forth, this committee compiles all those assurances and then has meetings from time to time to follow up on those without having to wait for a plenary sitting of Parliament. Now, I know that you might not want a whole new committee for that, but maybe you might be able to make that a function also maybe of the Finance Committee or Business Committee. Those are the two suggestions. I will just, you don't have to answer them now, of course, but I thought I should leave these thoughts with you.
Well,
Thank you very much.
I can say this, Mr. Billy, that
thank you.
I can say this, that for a long time we've been thinking of days when Parliament would sit, and we some suggested sit, once a week, get clear things, and when you clear away a lot of the business and things that you want done, because remember this, because we have a 20-day, even a 20-day provision in the Constitution now to have legislation out to the public before you can put it to Parliament, 28 days. And then, you have to discuss that. So you can't rush these things as much as we would like to. But I know that we could get a lot cleared away if we thought, well, this Wednesday I'm going to sit, or this Friday I'm going to sit, for one day and get things done. And parliaments around the region are doing that. And as I said earlier, we have to meet more often.
Thanks very much, Mr. Billy. Now, I know Mr. Bush.
Thank you, sir. Thanks very much.
Okay, Mr. Billy.
All right. And one of our listeners, says when it comes to the banks, your leadership style, this person shares, always been there for the people, and by now you'd have passed a law that would have, impacted the banks relative to how they, deal with customers, raising interest rates and the like.
Well, I am. People know that I don't sit down and think that we can't do anything, as I said. Yes, this is something you have to be careful with, but these banks are here to make money. But and some of them, without some of them, where would we have been? However, I would certainly listen. I would certainly listen to advice and then move, because I believe this thing that both the Premier and the Leader of the Opposition talked about. You can't do this because we are tied to the American way of doing things. I don't remember all the words, but I know what they're talking about because I raised it. I don't believe that's right. We have SEMA. We can put in a board or a whatever it is, a board, commission, whatever it is, to deal with how they set interest rates. They can't tell me no about that. And when you talk to sensible people who are accountants and even lawyers, right, they say so. But because the Premier is where he's at, and because the Leader of the Opposition won't agree with anything that I say, I guess, and he will come out to make the finance or industry or the banks believe that he's the only spokesman and he got more sense than anybody else. So, he's not going to go where I am saying. So he didn't. He didn't come out because I had the last say. I was waiting to see how far he would go. He would rather get on his soapbox here or on Facebook, but he wouldn't face me in that Parliament and talk to me, talk his foolishness. We can do things. We have SEMA, and we can do more with SEMA to raise money too. We can. Now, some people in the finance industry might like it. They might say it's a way of competing with us as a private sector, but there are things that SEMA can do to make money and good revenue that they need to be passing on to the country. Anyway, that's a story for another time. But yes, I do believe that there's something, and I would have done something by now, and I would have taken advice, and I would of course talk to the banks and talk to all of them. But no, I wasn't going to sit down and allow this thing to happen to people. No, because too many things are going wrong. And what happened to our people who are losing their homes, who will continue to lose? We must sit down as a country and take that and say we can't do anything? Rubbish. Not McKeever.
Now, you referenced I know we'll continue this discussion another time, but you reminded the people of the event at the Trailer Farm tonight.
Yes.
And last day, is there a date yet? When do you expect the House to go back in session?
No, there's no date yet that I know. I'm hoping that it'll come this month, September, God willing.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll have you on.
Hopefully September.
All right. we'll look at the schedule and have you on when you're ready again, right?
Yes.
For the whole show this time.
When I get the CUC motion drafted the way I want it, I will, and the seconder, I will certainly come back to talk to you.
Thanks very much, sir.
Thank you very much for your time, and look forward to come back. I hope you come in tonight. Your father being one tourism ambassador for years, from the time I was a little boy. I know he can't get out, but you can come pick up a certificate for him.
Thanks for that, sir. You know, him and Mr. Weston, boy, I can see the two of them now.
Oh, I remember, but the cousins first. They were cousins first of all, and I remember that when we used to go on picnics with your dad and Weston and Shirley and the older sister. Some of the younger ones wasn't. The last one I think wasn't born yet. I don't know. Well, I lost track of time. But you and your brother was there.
Yeah, man, it's
your
all
brothers. Yeah, they were good times and growing up, and we didn't have much to worry about. I never thought that they would have $1 million mortgage today.
$1 million in interest.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Bush.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're most welcome. We're going to pause, and when we come back, another wonderful discussion with another set as we talk about the Miss Universe Cayman. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
From Saturday, August 26th through Saturday, September 2nd, Tomlinson Furniture is having a massive anniversary sale on everything in store.
Living room and bedroom set, outdoor furniture, dining and coffee tables, home office desks and chairs, decor, mattresses, and more. All up to 50% off. See an item you like, save an additional 20% off the lowest sale price for savings up to 50% off store-wide. Register to win a $500 shopping spree with each purchase and receive a free gift with each purchase over $100. Shop and save up to 50% store-wide during Tomlinson Furniture's 48th anniversary sale. Sale ends this Saturday. Visit our showroom on the first and second floor of the Tomlinson Building, corner of Hospital and Walkers Road.
The Ministry of Sustainability and Climate Resiliency wants your feedback on the updated National Energy Policy. The updated policy proposes new national targets for renewable energy, electric vehicles, and greenhouse gas emissions. Watch a virtual town hall and download the draft policy at gov.ky/national energy policy and send us your feedback by the 31st of August. You can take our survey online or email your feedback to energy@gov.ky. Log on to gov.ky/national energy policy to learn more.
Who will be the new queen? Miss Universe Cayman Islands will crown a new queen Saturday, September 2nd at the Westin Cayman Resort. Witness 5 stunning contestants as they hit the stage to become your national queen at the Miss Universe Cayman Islands 2023 competition finals and coronation. Be in the audience of this fabulous gala while being streamed live on the Miss Universe platform. 5 beautiful ladies, 1 crown on 1 fabulous night. Get your tickets at eventpro.ky or Funky Monkey at Governor Square. Miss Universe Cayman Islands 2023, Saturday, September 2nd at the Westin Cayman Resort. You don't want to miss it.
Back to school just got a whole lot more exciting with Digicel. Activate a Prime bundle or sign up for postpaid and you could win big. We're giving away $1,500 cash, plus Winner's Circle and office supply gift vouchers weekly. But wait, there's more. The grand prize of $5,000 goes to a local school of your choice, and you get a MacBook just for staying on any of our prepaid or postpaid plans. Stay connected, stay smart, and win with Digicel. Terms and conditions apply. Visit digicel.com for more details. Digicel. Better connected.
All aboard the Pizza Boat! Cayman's newest pizzeria. Birthday parties, office luncheons, summer camps, game night. Whatever your occasion, bring the fun with Pizza Boat. A Cayman twist to pizza. Bringing fusion ingredients from all over the globe to give you locally inspired fresh pizzas all day, every day. What's more, now you can enjoy a boat-shaped pizza with toppings of your choice. It's Pizza Boat. Pizza Boat, now open in Queens Court on West Bay Road. Pick up or delivery 949-0000 or order online www.pizzaboat.ky. Pizza Boat. Experience the ultimate pizza voyage.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. This summer, I going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, and now Panama. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal this summer.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
89.9 Radio Cayman helps you to weather the storm during this hurricane season.
One of the most crucial elements of hurricane preparedness is storm awareness. During the season, it is of utmost importance to pay attention to the latest local weather forecasts, as hurricanes do not suddenly form or strike. There are various methods of advanced notification. Utilizing such may be the difference between a favorable outcome and disaster. Both television and radio serve as excellent mediums with up-to-the-minute storm path information in the wake of a hurricane. Another method of tracking a hurricane may be only arm's length away. Your smartphone or tablet can be your most valuable tool before, during, and after a storm, providing countless numbers of apps with crucial hurricane information. Many apps allow you to track storms with moving radar and satellite imagery, plus offer alerts, current conditions, forecasts, advisories, and even video.
This hurricane preparedness tip was brought to you by your community radio station, Radio Cayman 89.9 FM.
Are you tired of waiting in long lines at the pharmacy just to fill a prescription?
If what, child, let me tell you.
Well, now you can save time and money with ValueMed's online prescription service. Visit ValueMed's new website, valrx.com, and click the Refill Subscriptions button. Fill in your information and choose your preferred pickup location. Or email your prescription refills for ValueMed Walkers Road at rx-wr@valrx.com, and for ValueMed in Boddentown, email rx-bt at valrx.com. Say goodbye to the hassle of waiting in lines and hello to the convenience of online prescriptions with ValueMed Pharmacy. Visit valrx.com to place your orders today.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waging to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. And if you're tuned in to any of our social media, whether it's YouTube or Facebook, you always see our wonderful guests, and I thank them for taking time out of their lunch to join us. Now, I am going to try my best to hyphenate Miss Catherine Tyson Sewell.
You know,
is that it? Got it?
You studied it. That's cool.
This was like, and then to my right,
You're so tired of me saying.
No,
Sterling.
it's important. It's important. It's important. She's asked, and it's important. Not just out of my absolute respect, but my parents said, you always try to ensure that you are as respectful as possible, right? So
right.
I got it right. I'll try to get it.
Yay.
And then
You'll
Mr.
make my husband
Dickens.
happy because he always asks me. yeah. Sorry.
There you go.
You know what? I'm just going to sit here and listen.
Dakers is my maiden name, but I still carry it.
So
very proudly.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It's,
and so, yes.
We've been at the school now 50 years, and I got classmates that, I was probably in there reading, so I know they got married, but I still call them by their maiden name.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, when are you going to get this? They've been married 1,000 years now. So, ladies, with the utmost love and respect, that agape love, that I welcome you to our studio.
Thank you. Appreciate that so much. Yeah, I get the whole, so who are you married to? That question. So I'm like, you got me there.
It could be worse though. I had a guy this morning, someone came up and said, are you married? He said, no, but my wife is.
Oh my. So, that's low.
Yeah, I don't
low.
know about that one.
Yeah, that
she
might not be soon. She might not be married soon.
Just don't say the name.
No, hey. No, but she's a good sport. I mean, she looked at him and she laughed. No, but the two of them, I think, each heart beats for the other.
So that's good. That's good. That's what matters, you know.
Yeah, and I think this is where, as individuals, but as ladies, you exemplify and remind us of that statue in town, how we raise the bar, how we be examples, and through this pageant, I'm not even sure that word is significant enough. You're developing some wonderful individuals that are not only ambassadors in our country,
right, but
they serve as great role models to not just the young ladies, but them in particular.
Absolutely.
And constantly raising the bar, and I've enjoyed just sitting and learning and the laughter we've had, but there's a lot of lessons.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that though, Sterling, because I think that pageantry is just, obviously evolving and going into another direction, right? And the direction is not just a beauty pageant, pretty girls on stage. Like, pretty girls have existed from the beginning of time, and they will continue to exist. But as we now see in our country and the world over, the need for people to be prepared for the rest of their lives. And so I think the onus is on us, the elders, really, to ensure that they're equipped. And so any forum that you get that opportunity, you should grasp it, and you should you do your best, to prepare them, because in this particular instance, this is a moment in their lives, right, Derry?
Absolutely. And as Catherine said, we're preparing them. And this is certainly the platform, as I've said so many times, to do that. We provide that preparation and that transformation. And you're going to see, if you follow the young ladies and their journey throughout the past few months, you'll see some photos of them, or maybe, prior to them entering the pageant, or just at the very beginning, when they decided to enter the pageant, to pageant night, and you'll see that, amazing transformation. Yes. And, you can even follow Chloe's journey, who was our reigning Miss Kim Allen's, Miss Universe Kim Allen's, and you can see how much she's transformed, and so it certainly is a developmental program that we're very proud of.
Right. And the growth, absolutely the growth, the transformation, the evolution, but also just the recognition that, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? And, how do I ensure that I am contributing positively to society? That is so important.
Absolutely.
Because, we were all 20-something years old. We were all 18 at one point. And I say that to young girls when they try to say, you're old, you don't understand. I'm like, listen, I can tell you what. I've been there and I've been here.
And listen,
so
it just
you
like
haven't
yesterday.
been here yet. Oh, listen.
We don't want to get into that, but it really does seem like yesterday.
It literally is yesterday. Like, where does that time go? Oh, my goodness. But what I've said to them is, funny enough, I've been where you are, but you haven't been where I am.
Yeah, what my daughter says,
So
yeah, absolutely. Everyone has their own journey. Some a little shorter than others, unfortunately. Some people have to leave us earlier in life,
Right.
But we all have our journey, and I think while we're here on earth, that we should really make it very positive, uplifting people, inspiring people, just really being a voice for truth and courage and just positivity.
Yes. Hence our platform.
Yes.
We're here to talk about a couple of things.
But this is where the discussion, I think, helps us as a society to understand it's more than just one night. It's more than just a pageant.
Absolutely.
And as I was listening to you, thinking back over the years, all of I call them participants, not necessarily contestants. They seem to do two things. Yes, they're competing for something against each other, but they form a camaraderie and a bond.
Right.
But they've created a platform, and if you think of a small society, everybody already knows, or you feel that way, that they're watching you and know you, but now you're under a microscope, and everything's magnified. Very much like the politician, you have a platform, you're campaigning for something, but what happens next?
Right.
Win, lose, or draw.
Absolutely, yes. And I think that's very important what you said. And I
Two
think
important things today.
Derry and I really we agree with that. That we are trying to ensure that each young lady has such a rich experience during this journey, that it's not just about the girl who is crowned queen or national, representative, national queen, but all of them, because they all belong to us.
Yes, it's like they become their family at the end of the day, and we give them advice, and we nurture them, and it's certainly a space for them to feel safe and share their stories, and and, just transform and be the best version of themselves, really.
Right.
What it shows us, right, is that if we genuinely, lovingly, consciously, deliberately invest in them, that in a very short time, it doesn't take a generation, it doesn't take a decade, it doesn't even take a year.
Right.
You can see a positive transformation. Their self-esteem, and self-image, and self-confidence, their poise, their grace, their confidence, their ability to engage publicly and not be false and pretentious, but be forthright and conscious of the moment.
Right.
And that is something that I believe when we look at them in that sort of environment, maybe we should also look at our very young children and appreciate that they are capable of more than what we expect of them. We're lowering the standards, but we also, in looking at them, fail to appreciate that children live up to and do what you expect of them. So if you only want this little bit, that's what you're going to get. You want more, to be able to get it.
Yes. Right. Yeah. Well, you have to raise the bar. And it's funny you said that. I remember when Miss Annie Moulton saw me when my daughter was in 2018 when she was in Miss Cayman, and I'll never forget that. And she said, Catherine, and she had won it at that point. She said, I knew your daughter was going to win. And I said, really? She said, yes. She said, I told my husband she's going to win. I pointed and said, oh, she's going to win. And he said, oh, how do you know? And she said, because Catherine been working with her from the time she was born.
Wow. So you see there you go.
And I thought that was, and it's exactly what you just said, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I do believe that as a mother, and I can only speak from the standpoint of being a mother, that you really want to be there for your child, as much as possible from the early years, because they're looking to you as a role model.
Right.
And I think I was just saying the other day to someone, they look at our faces to see our expressions and how we react to certain situations.
Right.
So we're going to be all anxious about everything. They're going to probably develop anxiety very early.
Right.
If we're going to be depressed about, very negative about, any challenges in life, they're probably going to, face situations where they'll easily get depressed. So I think the key thing is to really, just lay that foundation of stability in their lives, which includes love and encouragement and positivity, and telling them that they can do all things, really.
Confidence. Yeah.
Well, after the break, let's pause, take just a quick break, come back and we'll invite the people, we'll tell them why we're here, we'll get to share.
Yes.
All right, stay tuned, and if you have a friend who's not listening, call him, tell him to join us. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
From Saturday, August 26th through Saturday, September 2nd, Tomlinson Furniture is having a massive anniversary sale on everything in store.
Living room and bedroom set, outdoor furniture, dining and coffee tables, home office desks and chairs, decor, mattresses, and more. All up to 50% off. See an item you like, save an additional 20% off the lowest sale price for savings up to 50% off store-wide. Register to win a $500 shopping spree with each purchase and receive a free gift with each purchase over $100. Shop and save up to 50% store-wide during Tomlinson Furniture's 48th anniversary sale. Sale ends this Saturday. Visit our showroom at the first and second floor of the Tomlinson Building, corner of Hospital and Walkers Road. Introducing Digicell's all-new prepaid plans. Packed with more any-use data than ever before. Entertainment data for the apps you love, like Netflix, Spotify, YouTube, and TikTok. Plus, endless social data for Snapchat, WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So you're always in the know. Stay connected. Stay entertained with Digicell's new prepaid plans. Activate in the My Digicel app today. Digicel. Better connected.
It's game time, Subway fans. We're upping our sub game with the all-new Subway Series menu, an all-star lineup of 6 delicious recipes. Just order by name or number and we'll do the rest. Whether you're catching a quick lunch or just need a tasty victory, the Subway Series menu is coming in clutch. Subway Series, easy to order, hard to resist. Try it today, only at Subway. Eat fresh.
This is it, Cayman, the last week of the STEPS 2023 National Health Survey. If you have been chosen for the survey, please complete Step 3 by September 3rd. Your participation is essential for the future of our nation. Help us shape Cayman's healthcare services and say yes to Step 3. To book your appointment or for more information, call 936-4969.
Honey, did you get your Benzorama ticket yet?
Benzorama what?
The Lions Club Benzorama fundraiser. You could win a brand new Mercedes-Benz.
What? I have always wanted a Mercedes. What kind of Benz?
A brand new sparkling 2023 Mercedes-Benz GLA 200. Tickets are $25 for one, 3 for $65, or 5 for $100. And you're helping to support the many Lions Club of Grand Cayman causes.
Driving in my new Benz and feeling good about helping the community.
The Lions Club of Grand Cayman Benzorama Fundraiser. Your chance to win a 2023 Mercedes-Benz GLA 200. Benzorama fundraiser tickets are available from Lions Club members and various sales outlets. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman Benzorama Fundraiser supports numerous community initiatives, includes site screening, Christmas deliveries, restoration, and social
Homeowners.
services.
Protecting your family and property is crucial during the season, and you should always assess insurance needs long before a storm makes landfall. Most insurers won't issue new policies or increases when a storm is imminent. Cayman Insurance Center's team of professionals can help owners like you find the most comprehensive coverage and competitive rates. Call the insurance professionals at Cayman Insurance Center 949-4657 or email info@cic.com.ky. Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Call Cayman Insurance Center's insurance professionals today at 949-4657.
Who will be the new queen? Miss Universe Cayman Islands will crown a new queen Saturday, September 2nd at the Westin Cayman Resort. Witness 5 stunning contestants as they hit the stage to become your national queen at the Miss Universe Cayman Islands 2023 competition finals and coronation. Be in the audience of this fabulous gala while being streamed live on the Miss Universe platform. 5 beautiful ladies, 1 crown on 1 fabulous night. Get your tickets at eventpro.ky or Funky Monkey at Governor Square. Miss Universe Cayman Islands 2023, Saturday, September 2nd at the Westin Cayman Resort. You don't want to miss it.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome back. United We Rise, the Miss Universe Cayman Islands competition finals and coronation.
Yeah, that's the pageant.
That's the pageant.
Yes.
For those who don't know, it's a pageant. Okay.
Sounds like a new thing, but it's the same old.
Same old thing.
No, man, it's
Same new thing.
Same new thing.
Oh, what's that, Calypso?
Nothing but
Uh-oh. All right.
That's the lead. That's the singer.
Yeah, I must have missed that
I
somehow.
want to say the words.
Nice.
Oh man, it's something about music and
Yeah.
how we can bring people together, but it's also
for
an
sure.
example for much.
Yeah. So we wanted to talk about, United Against Bullying is our platform, and I think that we wanted to have a theme that was able to kind of
Align with it,
and
really.
communicate that as well. So United We Rise just kind of rose up out of the ashes.
Like Phoenix, huh?
Right, like a phoenix,
Yes,
exactly. Because
absolutely like a phoenix.
we've had some times.
Yeah, the
and
last year has definitely been challenging, and
Yes.
there's no doubt, no secret to that. So, and here we are. We're still standing.
Yep.
And we're the only pageant
that song.
organization that's having a pageant this year.
I'm still standing better than I've ever been. Oh, goodness. There you go.
And look at that other song. Listen, you got to play I'm a
Man,
Survivor
yeah,
after
okay.
this. I think that's suiting. But certainly we're the only organization that's having a pageant this year. We're going very strong still. We have gained so many sponsors over the past year. And here we are with 5, beautiful young ladies.
Yes, and today I just actually witnessed them being interviewed, and those interviews will air this week from GIS. And I mean, I was just
Shout out to Donna Bush.
Shout out to Ann Layton, who was there doing the video, and Donna's so excellent. Like, she's just incredible. Like, it's just second nature to her, you know. And I just, it just occurred to me as I was watching them, just what I felt from the very beginning. Derry, you and I have said, any of them could be the queen,
Absolutely.
Any of that, they're
This
so
is a really great
beautiful
group.
and brilliant, and they're I mean, they are just amazing, all of them.
And their public speaking skills. This group is just absolutely incredible.
Yes, we're very, very proud of them.
Yes.
Very proud of them. As I was watching them, I was just like, we got 4 days, and one of them is going to be crowned, and they could all be crowned.
And one of them will go off to Miss Universe in November
right.
to represent us in El Salvador. So that's exciting.
Yeah,
I think too with your cohort, the peer effect is very evident. As each one improves herself, that inspires the other to do likewise. And iron sharpens iron, but they're raising the bar
it's
for
not
each other.
it's not an easy road when you decide that you're going to take on the take that step, I should say, to enter the pageant, because, you have all eyes on you, become that public figure, and there is a very tight schedule. So whatever you had, initially, I don't know, lots of family time, perhaps, that goes out, lots of fun and clubbing. I don't know what they, would normally do, but it sort of goes out the door, because your commitment, then is that pageant. But nothing in life really comes easy, The road to success is not easy. So, you definitely will have to be committed and dedicated to, to the journey.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what I love also, Sterling, with talking about the peer, the relationship, is that as you get older in life, and I think we all can attest to this, you find people that like things that you like. You know what I mean? Like you go through school, and this is your best friend.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden you become adults, and you start taking different roads, and that's not your best friend anymore. You still love them because you remember sharing a patty with them. Like I just, like all these things. But then because they've gone in another direction, now you find people that are similar to you, that have the interests that you have. So it's very obvious when you see these relationships being created in this pageant forum. It's kind of like that. And then you'll see 2 years from now, they're still friends. 5 years from now, they're still friends, because they're like-minded,
with like-minded people. Absolutely. So
it gives them an opportunity to.
And we often talk about the sisterhood, and so forth, that has developed from this platform. And it's just amazing. I mean, some of them stay friends for a very long time.
They're still friends. You see Mariah and Georgina and Caitlin and Kimberly, like they go out, they have fun, they're it's a sisterhood.
And Kimberly was a runner-up in 2021, but very much connected.
Absolutely.
Chloe has now joined that, that sisterhood, and we still have some of the former queens, offer their assistance throughout the years as well, at pageant time.
Yeah, and we love that. So but United Against Bullying was just the perfect platform.
I mean, this was
us.
something that I was looking at bringing on board from about a couple of years ago, and I think with everything that the organization has endured, and in particular, globally what's happening, and which has obviously trickled, into our own community here, within the schools, in the workplace, on social media. I think it's well suiting, for our year, for this year's platform.
And bullying is just wrong. It's just wrong on every level.
Absolutely.
And I think when it's funny because you look at a pageant and there's beautiful women, and from the outside looking in, in, they're flawless. They're beautiful. They're well made up. Their hair is perfect. You would think, no, you can't pick on them.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why would anyone even want to do that?
And a lot of times, and I think we've had this conversation, is like, a lot of times it's people and their own insecurities, and they project it on others. If you look back into their childhood, perhaps, maybe they didn't have a loving childhood, no mother or father there for them to support them, to give them that loving foundation. Because I always say that, happy people sort of want to exude happiness, and they want others to feel happy.
People to be happy.
If you're upset on the inside and just angry and hateful all the time, you're going to want to exude that too.
Right.
So
absolutely.
I think that's the gist of it. And it's unfortunate that people just make their, we were talking about our purpose in life earlier, and just keeping it positive and so forth. And I do believe that, if your purpose in life is to make others feel terrible or try to make them feel terrible about themselves, then really and truly, what legacy are you leaving?
I'm just wondering how you're feeling when you wake up. Like, are you feeling good? Like,
what example are you setting for your children? Or if you're a child and you're bullying other kids, that's not the road that you want to take,
Yeah.
And as you become an adult, obviously, if you're not rehabilitated before then, or, go to counseling or whatever, you're going to be a real monster, by the end of the day.
So united we rise.
So united we rise, and we're rising against so many things, so many adversities. We're rising against bullying, we're rising against other adversities, that we faced along the way, some sort of financial struggles and so forth. We're overcoming all of that.
Unfairness.
Yes.
Negativity. Disloyalty. I mean, that's huge too.
Yeah. And just, people that just want to attack you, they call them haters.
Right.
I try to think that, the world is full of love and kindness.
Right.
But, you got to create your own world.
That's it, man. So after the break, let's talk more about it, because I think that positivity is important. Not only how we impart it to others, but the fact how we could uplift ourselves.
Absolutely.
Right, please stay tuned and join us right after the break.
Today's biggest news.
Radio K-Man, your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio K-Man's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
With your latest headlines, I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins. Shortly after 4:40 p.m. yesterday, August 28th, officers responded to a report of a person in distress in the waters off Spots Beach. It was reported that a man had entered the water and swam away from shore. He appeared to experience difficulties and lost consciousness, and was assisted from the water by members of the public who began to administer CPR. Emergency services attended the location, and the man was transported to the Cayman Islands Hospital by ambulance, where he was pronounced dead. In international news, Google is trialing a digital watermark to spot images made by artificial intelligence in a bid to fight disinformation. Developed by DeepMind, Google's AI arm, SynthID, will identify images generated by machines. It works by embedding changes to individual pixels and images, so watermarks are invisible to the human eye but detectable by computers. Rap star Eminem has asked aspiring Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy to stop using his songs. The letter comes more than a week after the biotech entrepreneur delivered an impromptu performance of Lose Yourself at the Iowa State Fair. These are your headlines. I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins.
Today's biggest news.
Radio K-Man, your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio K-Man's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
Honey, did you get your Benzorama ticket yet?
Benzorama what?
The Lions Club Benzorama fundraiser. You could win a brand new Mercedes-Benz.
What? I have always wanted a Mercedes. What kind of Benz?
A brand new sparkling 2023 Mercedes-Benz GLA 200. Tickets are $25 for one, $3 for $65, or $5 for $100. And you're helping to support the many Lions Club of Grand Cayman causes.
Driving in my new Benz and feeling good about helping the community.
The Lions Club of Grand Cayman Benzorama Fundraiser. Your chance to win a 2023 Mercedes-Benz GLA 200. Benzorama fundraiser tickets are available from Lions Club members and various sales outlets. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman Benzorama Fundraiser supports numerous community initiatives, includes site screening, Christmas deliveries, restoration, and social services.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome back. And as we talk about the Miss Universe Cayman Islands, the United We Rise at the big finale, the grand finale.
It's the night of all nights. Yeah. Remember, it's literally one of the greatest events, one of the largest events that the Cayman Islands boast every year, and that is the Miss Universe Cayman Islands pageant. Yeah. And that is happening this Saturday. If you have not gotten your tickets, you need to get them. It's on eventpro.ky or Funky Monkey, or call me. Call me now.
Yes, call me as well.
Well, Miss Theo, Miss Cleo, call me now.
Call me now. Listen.
Get your tickets. We'll bring them to you.
Absolutely.
Because these young ladies need to be supported.
They need to be supported. It's our national event, as Catherine said, so we certainly want that support. I mean, the Western Ballroom is filled every year. We're looking for that again this year as well. And go out and get your tickets. There's going to be lots of great entertainment. This year, our pageant is going to be a lot. We've reduced the time a lot just because it's, the viewing will also be on the Miss Universe platform. So, for international viewers as well. So, so we're down to about three hours max.
Yeah. And you know what's important about it, and I've said this every single time I've spoken on the radio, is that this is our thing. We are Caymanians, and this is Cayman. And I don't want to have to remind people, but I will. This is Cayman, and we are Caymanians, and this is a local event. It is so important that what emerges from this local event are representatives for us as Caymanians, because as we continue to see progress around us, we're seeing more and more Cayman is kind of getting a little blurry. And I think it's really important, because I think even people that have come here originally, they came because of what we have.
Yes.
Because of the lure of the beautiful island in paradise, the jewel of the Caribbean. It's so safe and it's so lovely, and the people are so kind.
And we've tagged ourselves with this slogan being Cayman kind.
The people are so nice.
Yes.
Yes. Well, this is an opportunity for us to continue to have representation in our island, and not just from a political standpoint, because obviously we have our 19 representatives, but this also is a very important aspect of our culture. It's been going since 1932 when Glida Coe was crowned Miss Cayman. That's 91
and
years.
And listen, I had the honor of actually meeting Miss Cayman Islands 1976, Elstine Bush. On Friday night.
Okay,
it was a real honor. What a beautiful woman, inside and out.
When she was Miss Cayman, I loved her. I thought she was so beautiful.
Actually showed, photos of, she was on the cover of the Nor'Wester.
Yes.
And, just really beautiful.
Beautiful inside and out, as
she is. So I was really grateful to, to meet her. And also Lavinia Ebanks, who is on, a part of the organization. She was Miss Cayman Islands 1975, and she, Miller, yes, and she joined us. So it was, and then of course Miss Universe Trinidad 2023 was here over the weekend.
Right.
So Catherine and I had the opportunity to spend time with her,
absolutely,
and show her, around her island and give her some of that Cayman kindness.
Yes.
That she was very grateful for. So, we've certainly have given some visibility to the Cayman Islands, and I do believe that with this weekend, we want to show the world how the island supports our local pageant by attending the pageant. Who knows, the camera might just move on your face and
we're
see you in the crowd
streamed, on the Miss Universe platform. But as you're talking, Derry, I'm thinking, and by the way, you're listening to the voice of you were just listening to the voice of the national director of the Miss Universe Cayman Islands franchise too. By the way, that was Derry Lee, and she has appointed me chairperson of the Miss Universe organization, Miss Universe Cayman Islands organization, from April. So just to let you know who you're listening to, and I know you know our voices, just in different roles right now. But I'm thinking about just some names. So Donna Bush was first runner-up in Miss Cayman Islands.
Miss Teen.
No, she was Miss Teen, and she was
Miss Teen and first run. Yes,
exactly.
Yes,
and Derry, you also were. What? Come on.
Miss Teen Cayman back in 1989 and first runner-up Miss Cayman Islands in 19 90.
Exactly. Yes. So when we start thinking about the people that have
first one up with Miss Teen Cayman Islands as well.
Yes.
So it was that 3-year period where like I had my friends calling like, you're rehearsing again.
Yes,
like I was in constant rehearsals for 3 years because I went from one pageant to the next to the next.
and was on the committee for, I think it's 14 years if I'm counting, was chairperson for many years, and now actually, the national director. I mean, the growth. So we're just saying
all glory to God.
Absolutely. Michelle Scott. Yes. I mean, like we can just go down the list of young ladies that have
Jackie
come
Terry
through.
as well. Jackie Bush at the time.
Right.
She is Jackie. Oh my goodness, I can't remember right now.
Stacey
She's remarried, but she also was a chairperson.
Stacey Ann Kelly as well, who's an attorney. I mean, listen, this is it's just an amazing, and Miss Harriet Lott, who she actually purchased. She was the first franchise holder of the Miss Universe franchise that brought it to Cayman.
Yes.
So, and her first contestant that represented us in Korea, I believe it was Devon Watler. And then and
I think Devon that year, if I'm not mistaken, won Miss Congeniality. Yes.
And then 2 years after that, Maureen Teresa Lewis was Miss Congeniality as well. So when you just think about this, when people fail to realize how impactful and important this fraternity is, then they're really just they don't
and a lot of our title holders as well as the contestants have gone on to become trailblazers in the community, and that's important because it shows that the road that has been paved, from it was like the threshold almost to their future, as they when they made that decision to enter the pageant.
And as I listen to you every day, just about Saturdays and Sundays sometimes as well, I get a chance to interact with her own Susan Watson.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I remembered when she entered Miss Cayman Brac. We were talking about that earlier. And I think she was second runner-up. Yes. I remember because I attended that pageant. I was, probably, I don't know, maybe in primary school at the time. But it was like, it just stood out in my mind because she was beautiful. Her voice, which I can understand why she has, a job here at the radio station. Was just amazing, and what a personality to just go with it all.
Yeah, and she was Miss Best Smile. So look at
she's lovely, and that voice.
And when we're talking here, and I keep looking in the room because she has such a very comforting, soothing face. So I'm looking at her face, and I'm like, breath of fresh air.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's just to say, like this is what is still going on, and it's not going anywhere. It's here to stay.
Absolutely.
And it's just evolving.
Yes.
And it's transforming. And it's obviously showing just the history of it, how impactful it is, not only to the young ladies, but how they can impact their communities.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's the amazing part. Yeah. And then, continue with the legacy.
Yes.
As the names that we've just mentioned. Some of the names, because there have been so many others.
So many. Yeah, there's so many. And like you say, if you look down the list of all the past title holders and even the contestants, they've all a very key role in the community.
Yep.
They all play a very key role. So, and I always say to any of the young ladies that want to enter the pageant, try not to look at the comments on social media. And, I think even Miss Universe now, they've, because they've also gone through pretty much what we've gone through. I think the past couple of years, the attacks on the contestants have just been, I don't know, it's almost just through the roof, sort of thing, and with their title holders as well as some of the contestants. And I think they're looking at different ways to sort of restrict those comments and so forth. And that's how bad it's gotten. I mean, you look at Chelsea Christ, which, many of you may have heard of last year, January, that jumped off, her flat there in Manhattan because of bullying. And she killed, obviously it was suicide. And here she was a lawyer, very established businesswoman, beautiful girl. She was Miss USA and in 2019 and placed in the finals, if I'm not mistaken, that year at Miss Universe. But bullying can really, there's a very, there's a very close link between bullying and suicide. And so, people need to understand that when you say to people, just toughen up what? Because they're telling you to go dig a hole. in the ground and bury yourself. You know, that people shouldn't be telling you that, you know. And yes, I agree, you know, that, you know, there's some constructive criticism, but when it comes to a point where, you know, it's an all-out attack, it's no longer constructive. You're a bully. You know, it's plain and simple. You're a bully.
And we have to be united against it.
Yes.
We have to stand against it.
Absolutely.
Because just if we even just ignore it, if we just act like it's not happening, it does not go away.
Yes.
I wonder
and I believe that people that support bullies are enablers. So you have to look at those people as well, even if they're not out there bullying people, you know, for the world to see. But if you support a bully, you are encouraging that bully. So no matter what you may be out there saying or doing or you're trying to do positively, you know, the world is looking at you differently. The island is looking at you differently. Right. Because what message are you sending? What do you truly represent, you know, at the end of the day?
Right. It's very important.
Indeed. Miss Susan, ready for that break now? She's like, hey, ladies, just as Miss Angela would say, stick a pin, and then when we come back, let's invite our listeners, and we'll remind you how to get tickets and where it's going to be and when, and that you should put on you can dress up to the 99s. It's a wonderful evening, an elegant evening. So
199s, 101.
Get ready for more with Digicel's all-new prepaid plans. More any-use data to browse. Entertainment data for Netflix, Spotify, YouTube, and TikTok. Plus, stay connected with endless social data for Snapchat, WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. With Digicel's new prepaid plans, you'll never miss a beat. Activate in the My Digicel app today. Digicel. Better connected.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. This summer, I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, and now Panama. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal this summer.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
The best foundation you can wear is glowing, healthy skin. The offices of dermatologist Dr. Dwayne Porter specialize in enhancing your skin's well-being. Whether you're seeking advanced skincare, including any skin cancers, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drporterkman@gmail.com or call 946-9020. That is 946-9020.
Looking to grow your business? We got this. Yellow Media Group has a proven track record for successfully marketing over 10,000 businesses on the web, expanding our customers' reach and providing measurable results. With the Caribbean's largest team of certified digital consultants, we handle everything from website development to search engine marketing and much more. So don't worry, we got this. For a free consultation, contact Lee Hipkins at 936-1981.
Attention all gaming enthusiasts, cosplayers, and technical aficionados. Experience the highly anticipated revival of the Caribbean's premier esports and gaming convention, taking place on September 30th and October 1st at the John Gray High School Gymnasium. Gamers Bay 7. A captivating 2-day extravaganza. Prepare to immerse yourself in an unforgettable event filled with excitement and innovation. Competitors, come showcase your skills and vie for over $10,000 in cash and prizes. Engage in exhilarating head-to-head Get battles in popular games such as Fortnite, PUBG Mobile, eFootball 23, Rocket League, and Super Smash Brothers. Renowned YouTubers Beck Bro Jack, Adam Beck, and Alec Duris will be there. Cosplayers Carrigan Taylor and Windy Girk will be there too. Lots of free play opportunities catering to PC gamers, retro players, console enthusiasts, arcade lovers, and yes, virtual reality enthusiasts alike. Don't forget the plethora of vendor booths to purchase exclusive items and deals. For further details, including general admission tickets, registration for individuals or teams, please visit gamersbaycayman.com. Sponsored by the Cayman Esports Association, NetGeeks Media, Ministry of Innovation, Ministry of Sports, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Tourism, C3 Pure Fiber, Monster Energy, Digicel, Sagicor, Maxstore, Costuless, Cayman Olympics, Enterprise Cayman, Prestige Motors, High Tech Electronics, ATV Cayman, Office Supply, and Radio Cayman. Gamers Bay 7. From Saturday, August 26th through Saturday, September 2nd, Tomlinson Furniture is having a massive anniversary sale on everything in store.
Living room and bedroom sets, outdoor furniture, dining and coffee tables, home office desks and chairs, decor, mattresses, and more. All up to 50% off. See an item you like, save an additional 20% off the lowest sale price for savings up to 50% off store-wide. Register to win a $500 shopping spree with each purchase and receive a free gift with each purchase over $100. Shop and save up to 50% store-wide during Tomlinson Furniture's 48th anniversary sale. Sale ends this Saturday. Visit our showroom on the first and second floor of the Tomlinson Building, corner of Hospital and Walkers Road.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us. And for the next 10 minutes or so, we would like to extend on behalf of the Miss Universe Cayman Islands a special invitation to be a part of the wonderful event this coming Saturday, United We Rise. So Miss Catherine and Miss Darley, thank you both for sharing and for being, if I might, positive role models for this year's court, but for the community by extension. Honored that you allowed us to have the opportunity to speak to each of them. Remarkable individuals.
And thank you. Thank you,
Sterling.
Sterling, for just every time I would text, because I was just texting Sterling. I was like, can I come in? I wasn't even going through the main channels anymore.
But he's been such a great support
I'm
over the years.
telling you.
It's an honor.
He loves it too, and I love that.
Yes.
No, what it is, right? It's I have seven sisters.
What were you like? You were contestant number 6.
Honorary contestant. And my mother's a strong lady. Together with my father, they raised strong, independent-minded daughters, and to see a woman who can do all that needs to be done, who knows how to partner. This is a strong community of women.
Nice, yep, and absolutely.
We need to do our part, and
we need to embrace each other.
Indeed.
Women need to support women. I mean, it's that simple.
Yeah.
Women need to support women. Not saying that the men, whatever. Yes, you guys are there, but let it. Sometimes the challenges are a bit different for us. So I really feel that we need to embrace each other and support each other.
Now more than ever.
Yes.
I mean, there are mental health issues out there. We see it all the time. And a lot of it, as we talked about bullying earlier, stems from bullying. Yeah. And even further, I guess, going into someone else's, someone's childhood and how they were treated or not treated, or how they were loved or not loved. By their family and their parents in particular. So certainly we need to support each other even more so. We've seen since the pandemic that it's, people are just in a whole other state of mind.
Yeah. To what extent are we cognizant that in our small community that we are unforgiving perhaps more than we are or should be? That person that we grew up with, the neighbor that we know by extension, we'll castigate them so easily. Someone from afar who's just landed will say, everybody needs a second chance. Everybody needs a fresh start in life. I'm glad that we're willing to extend that accommodation and that welcome to others. Why can't we do the same for our own?
I don't know. It looks so bad though, because I mean, even with what we've gone through the whole year, people like, you know, expats and people that obviously been living here for a while have said, "Where's the unity? Where's the love?"
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, but it's just, I don't know, just it's almost a self-righteous, judgmental characteristic that some people have.
I think what's unfortunate though, sometimes we look at someone and we'll say, since we're talking about ladies, if you let me, look at her, she got it together. She's so independent, she's strong, and she's all those things.
Right.
But do we know her battles? Not just...
And we all have them.
We all have them, right? We have baggage.
Very good point.
And it's not even so much about their trauma from childhood or whatever, but just then and there, having to make ends meet, excel in her career, whether she has a family or not. Maybe she is a sole individual who has to be the chief cook and bottle washer. Outwardly, she may be fantastic.
Yes.
And she may have it together, but she's a person.
Yes.
And what is she feeling in those dark, quiet moments,
Yes.
whether at midnight or midday that she's getting lunch? What are we doing to support and nurture her?
Right.
And if she, in our minds, well, she's 50, 60, 70, 80, we might excuse that. But what about the she that is 5, 10, and 15, and 25?
Yeah.
How are we helping them so that their lives are fulfilling?
Right.
And
it starts within our community. Yes, we have our leaders, which are the 19 seats that we have there that we hold accountable. But we also have a community.
Yes.
And we put them in there, obviously. So when I say the community, we have a lot more to do because we are the ones that, okay, here's what we want.
Yeah.
You know, here's what we want our community to look like. You know, why isn't this not happening? So it's up to us really to force that change.
Right.
And I'm hoping that being in attendance on Saturday evening, not only to cheer on your sort of preferred contestant, but to be there.
Cheer all of them on.
Yes.
Yeah, just to be there. And that audience makes the event that much better.
You know, it was so interesting because the community is just so small that we really have to realize that we're going to run into each other at some point. I remember there was a young lady that was in the pageant during Caitlin's year. And obviously I'm rooting for Caitlin, my daughter. She served me at I think one of the banks or something. And she was very lovely, and I, just remember, just speaking to her and, how you doing? Oh, I haven't seen you in so long. You look great. What are you doing with yourself? And I'm so happy that I was able to do that because even when she was in the pageant, you know what I mean?
Yes,
Like the point is, she for me too.
Yes.
She's a part of our community, so she's one of ours. And I think like that to me is what we definitely don't want to miss. We need to support all of our young women. We need to support all of our young people because they are for us.
And it starts with us. It really does start with us. It starts with the community, and let's I think we just need to change the tone a bit. We need to tone down the support for bullying and the support for certain platforms that support bullying, and just raise the volume on more love and kindness.
I think we all, as you listen, would quickly remember Burke's sort of adage: evil prevails when good men, good women, good people do nothing.
Fail to do anything.
And,
yes.
On Saturday evening,
well, that defines a true leader, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And it's important.
Right.
Yeah.
A friend said leadership isn't so much what you do to get people there is what they do when you're absent
and how they handle a situation. So it's
evil prevails when good men do nothing.
Absolutely.
That's great.
There you go.
I love that.
Yes.
Yes.
So
I just wanted to make sure I said it again.
Yes.
because
absolutely.
it's so important.
Yeah.
And I think that's
absolutely.
People, as you said about enabling, people don't see that your overt act and your sort of omission to act, they can be one and the same. Seeing wrong and doing nothing.
Absolutely.
You don't call it out.
And the Bible says you can't serve God and mammon.
Can't
So which one are you serving? Is it going to be good or is it going to be evil? It's going to be, what is it going to be? Like I said, you have to know your truth and what you represent.
Chooses the whom you serve. Huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what do you represent?
It's oftentimes repeated, but perhaps unfortunately never remembered. House divided cannot stand.
No. Absolutely.
And if our house is the Cayman Islands, and whether we are generational, that we lost count of how many generations, whether you've only been here for a couple of days, but this is your home now, you have to come together.
Yeah.
And make the cleanliness, make the civility, the conscientiousness, the consideration, whether it's in the traffic or whether it's in the supermarket, be an ethos that is so inculcated that we accept nothing less than excellence.
Absolutely.
And as I listen to both of you, I can take inspiration as two leaders who are nurturing and inspiring another generation of leaders.
Right.
And it doesn't matter that one person goes off with a crown. All the others are continuing to be members of our community.
Yes.
And their roles will impact us. There could be in that group the next, I will say premier, but maybe prime minister.
Absolutely.
Knows, right?
I'm hearing that this time around. I'm hearing, based on how some of them are speaking, I can imagine it. I can imagine that they will be our leaders, and they will be in charge of our health care as we start to retire and get old. Listen, I'm just saying, seriously, right?
Absolutely.
So when we don't realize the seriousness
be careful how you
of
treat
it,
certain people.
Tell you that.
Good follows good, huh?
Yeah.
Ladies, I recognize.
I mean, we see it all the time. Certain people that you don't think would reach a certain position, but they're there,
right?
Through perseverance because someone believed in them, and the same can happen to the people that
absolutely
that you
So
feel
for
that you
Saturday,
want, how to deal with later on in life. Life is a full circle.
Saturday, September 2nd.
So this
September
Saturday.
2nd, 7 p.m.
Yes,
at the Westin.
Event Pro.
Go get your tickets.
7 p.m. Go get your tickets or call me now. Or Funky Monkey at Governor Square, eventpro.ky. Right now, if you want to, go follow us on Instagram. Reach out to us. We can bring you a ticket. If you can't go get it, we'll bring it for you and you just pay us. And then also, there's always a door, but we want to make sure that you're there. You have to be there. You have to support this next generation of leaders. These are amazing young women, and they got to show that they are going to be performing this weekend on Saturday. It's going to be amazing.
It will.
It's going to be amazing. I'm excited.
See you all there. Look forward to seeing you too, Sterling.
Yeah,
I must say that it's highly unlikely this Saturday. Unfortunately, that's how it is.
Okay,
But I was just thinking of something. I mean, two of my own sisters were Miss Teen. I think that was back in 1741.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, boy, they can slap you in the back of your head. How old am I?
No, but it's something that does well for the community to come together as a national event and to see everyone come out.
And a big shout out to our sponsors. This year we want to give a special shout out to the Ministry of Border Control and Labor, and the Ministry of Tourism, King Sports Center, Ted Green Fragrances, Cayman Airways, Radio Cayman, of course. Big shout out to Radio Cayman, Compass Media, Caymanian Times. Thank you so much, Kurt Freeport, and all those sponsors have definitely been with us forever and a day.
Right.
And of course, the Ministry of Border Control and Labor is new for us this year. But thanks so much for your contribution, Honorable Minister Dwayne Seymour.
Couldn't do it without
an amazing person with a big
Yes.
heart. Known him for so many years. So big shout out to Dwayne, John.
Yes, there you go. And we can't do it without the
No.
support of the community.
Absolutely.
So we really appreciate all the new people that have come on board as well.
Yes.
We've had lots of new people.
Lots of new people. We have loads of prizes this year for
Yes,
the young
we
ladies.
do.
So loads of prizes. Yeah.
Yes.
We actually had to have a cut off. Okay.
No
the
more
program is going to
prizes. In fact, I got 2 more even after the cutoff. So
okay.
Because people just keep bringing them in,
Oh, that's good. Thank you all.
awesome.
Thanks for the love.
Yes.
And that's what we're talking about, that sort of support.
Well,
Thanks so much for the love.
We look forward to welcoming all you back again, and not
Well,
just
we gotta come.
Yeah.
We gotta come the week after with the new queen.
There you go. And the platform that we offer here is for all of your contestants, as you wish to utilize them, for us to showcase them as great role models and citizens. So thanks very much. All right?
Thank you, thanks. Sterling.
Always a pleasure. Well, it's Wednesday tomorrow, so please join Mr. Art for the record. Come back for talk today. We'll have an interesting discussion, and a reminder that the virtual town hall meeting at 1 p.m. will carry that live as they talk about the minimum wage. That's tomorrow's production. And then on Thursday, we got something for you. A fantastic concert coming up on Friday evening, and we have the artists in studio. I think Miss Susan might even play some of her songs between now and then. You've got to listen out for it. All right, until tomorrow, be highly favored, my friends.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network.